Hey, it's Empress Rose and welcome to a new type of reading. So I'm going to be doing the air signs today. We're going to look at what is the clog in your pipes, what's causing some backup, some stagnancy, what's not moving. And we're going to look at sort of some ideas on how to get that moving. I'll be looking at a couple different cards, types of cards. It's a different layout than I've used before. And then over on Vimeo, I'll have sort of furthers on Aries and Leo and Sagittarius over there, and you can pick that and see if you want to delve further into this topic for you. So I have shuffled the cards and we are going to get going here. So cutting the deck, your goal or desire, your external situation, your obstacle, and the advice for getting you past that obstacle. What sorts of Drano are you going to be using on that blockage? All right, so your goal or your desire. 4 of Cups. Do you need time to think about something? We have the armadillo. Getting a different perspective on something. Your goal is you want the real deal. Your goal would be to turn your back on or forget about all the things that haven't worked in the past and actually be able to focus on something that's real, but it still seems sort of imaginary to you. So we're talking about a situation in which you have a lot of discernment. You can understand, you can break a pattern, you can see how to break the pattern. Well, yeah, right? How to clear the clog, break the pattern, or get something flowing again. But there's a sense of the real deal. This is what you actually want. You have not gotten that yet, but you're still very focused on this goal that you haven't achieved yet. You haven't gotten to any sort of satisfying conclusion to this, but you are still very focused on this goal despite the fact that you haven't gotten there yet. And you've tried a couple different things, a couple different routes perhaps, and a couple different things, but you still would like to get there. We're going to pull some clarifiers on these actually. So the external situation, Temperance. This is taking a long time actually. So this is a goal that you've had for a while. And it's taking its sweet time and shifting. We have the cup here too. So I think it's this cup right here, this goal, this desire we have, and it's still formulating. I see this like half formed, maybe even the goal is half formed or the transition is half formed, but this transition is taking its sweet time. Things take the time they take. And so the situation outside of you, actually maybe some things are needing to be adjusted. Some things you don't have control over is the timing of things, of when people get back to you, or when a position is available, or when a person is available. There's a lot of things you don't have control over here, and one of them is the timing of something and exactly when something happens and when something unfolds. So there's something around you that it has its own process. Like if you applied for a job and then it has its own process through all the different people, and you can't really control the timing of that or how that works for you. So there's somebody or a situation around you that is needing to take its time. It's part of the process. It has to take its time. It can't rush through anything. So maybe the background check is taking its sweet time, but there's a time issue that's totally external to you. And obviously none of us can control time, but there's a timing thing that you're not going to be able to fix or do anything about. So the obstacle, what stands in your way? Maybe you can, maybe you can't fix this. We have the Justice card. So maybe there's some legal issue that's the obstacle between you getting what you want, some sort of fairness issue. Rules. I see rules needing to be followed and processes and procedures needing to be followed here. And something isn't fair or doesn't seem fair, and that's an important aspect to consider here. And for things to be balanced, to be fair, for things to be true, for things to be honest. I almost see like taking an oath or something like that, a promise. stands in your way. There's some sort of, there could just be like legal issues, and this legal situation just has to work its way through the legal system. Things need to be balanced. Both sides need to give their story. Things need to be fair. The integrity is almost the obstacle here. We can't, this is like, trying to avoid nepotism or something like that. Like, integrity is really important here. And so whatever you're waiting for, your goal, desire, there's a situation that's taking its time, and the obstacle is some sort of integrity. Maybe you are refusing to take a route that doesn't have integrity to it. Maybe there's a legal issue that just needs to get sorted through. And this obstacle may be something you can do something about. Integrity seems to be sort of like where this is coming from. And we have the bat here. Fair fruits of labors. The perspective, both sides need to be heard. And that's part of the obstacle. And it seems like it's part of the external situation. The advice here, Knight of Cups. Say what you, again, we have more cups here, and the cups showed up in the Temperance card. The Temperance card seems to be part of the cup suit in this deck. Knight of Cups. Emotional sharing. Do what you love, share what you love, talk about what you love. Talk about what you love. We see the full moon here too, so it seems to have to relate to this Justice card. Sharing your emotions, talking about love. Again, with the swan here, I'm seeing some sort of purity, some sort of integrity. There's this dream, and I think this cup here is, in the clouds here, and it's in the clouds here. And I think it's the same cup. I think we see this cup a couple times. In fact, in this Justice card, I think we can see these two as almost cups right here, hanging on the balance of this truth right here. So we have these cups, and the Knight of Cups and the Four of Cups. So at least you need to be talking about what this cup looks like, what you want in this cup, what you're hoping is in this cup, your desire for this cup, how much you love this cup, and how much you want this real cup. And the Knights are all about communication. The cups are about feelings and love. So there seems to be something here where you need to speak about, talk about, open up about something that you love, what's in your heart, what you desire. Okay, let's go back through. I'm going to take one from each of these decks. So your goal, your desire, this Four of Cups, this thing that seems to be always out of reach or almost the real deal, but never quite. Really contemplating this thing that you've wanted for a while. The Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hits, soul tribe. This could have to be with a community of people, with wanting to go to a conference or wanting to go to an event of some kind. Wanting, maybe this has to do with relationships, this has to do with people and wanting to meet your people and find your tribe. And it's like almost yeah, some kind of gathering, a party or something that you've always wanted to go to or be part of. A group type situation that you've always wanted to be part of. Well, you definitely want something to start coming together, and it hasn't come together so far. And here is this desire, this goal for this thing that comes together, to meet some people that you can really relate to and enjoy. Maybe even to have some deep friendships. Seems to be a relationship goal or desire. Or maybe even, a spiritual path or a group of people that you can relate to and feel, explore spirituality together. But it's something that hasn't happened yet. So you haven't found your soul tribe yet. You haven't found this group of like-minded people yet. You haven't been able to be part of this group yet. So the external situation here, I'm going to cut this deck. Okay, we got 2 of these that flipped out. Is this temperance? Something's taking the time it's taking. So there are secrets around you. People have secrets. People are not sharing secrets. They could. They are capable of sharing their secrets, but they are not. Again, we have the moon card here. The moon showing up here with these illusions and secrets. So somebody else has a secret, and they're taking their sweet time in telling you about it. The other part of the external situation, a mermaid's love. This is 2 people that are really great together, but they can't figure out where to live. A bird may love a fish, but where will they live, right? So there's a situation here which is, this isn't a long-term, it's not capable of being long-term. It's not capable, or there's some sort of impossibility, some sort of difficulty with the relationship. And I think all of our love relationships can sometimes have that sort of cosmic impossibility that we have to work through and figure out how we're going to deal with. So there's some sort of, there's a deep connection, but there's also some sort of great difficulty with that connection. So that's going on around you, these secrets, and it's taking its time. So someone may have a secret. It might be about a relationship. It sounds terrible, but might be about a relationship. Others may be involved. That other may be someone that you can't really have much of a relationship with. But external to you, there are secrets. And certainly we get that with this, like, the slow process. Someone else has to take their time with something and has to figure out something. And it's taking the time it's going to take. But there's something you don't know about it. And the obstacle, which sounds a little, I don't know. Okay. Oh, wow. The scales, justice. This is the obstacle. What stands in your way? Why this isn't moving forward? Balance, fairness, integrity is keeping something from moving forward. There's some sort of integrity here. Justice, this almost seems like a legal situation that maybe you're not fully aware of. That's just fascinating. The scales clarifying justice. It's both the scales, injustice, the obstacle. There's injustice and unfairness here. Perhaps even something illegal here is standing in your way, or the legalities here are standing in your way, or the whole legal system seems to be like, there's a whole book of rules and regulations that's sort of maybe creating an obstacle for you, and this can't move forward until like all the boxes are ticked and all the rules and regulations are fulfilled. There's a whole process here. I want to say like big books, heavy books full of information, and that's just wild. The scales clarifying the justice card. Someone could be prevaricating, weighing their options. This is the obstacle. What keeps you stuck is constantly weighing the options, or wanting to be fair. Wanting to be fair could be holding you back and keeping this situation stuck. Is wanting to be overly balanced. Too much balance, too much bean counting, too much give and take. There could also just be a legal issue right now, or a procedural issue that's keeping you stuck with something. You may not even know that there's this procedural issue that needs to get worked out before something happens. And for the advice, one last card here over this Knight of Cups. Ama B. Use the power of Ama B to help you fend off unpleasant experiences and situations. So I like it. We have this, we have this mermaid, this fish, showing up with, to clarify this Knight of Cups. And I mean, she almost has a swan beak on her. Alma B, use the power of Alma B to help fend off unpleasant experiences and situations. So yeah, keeping yourself from unpleasant experiences and situations, and communicating what's in your heart, clearly communicating what you feel about a situation is somehow part of this advice, and then fending off unpleasant experiences. And just, I guess, asking for protection, or maybe even asking for advice on how to keep this from being as unpleasant as, you know, as pleasant as possible in the situation. Avoiding an unpleasant situation is the advice, is try to avoid that. And if you can't avoid that, you know, look for help in avoiding an unpleasant situation. Okay, well, if any of that resonated, come on over to Vimeo, and there'll be different videos. I'll put the links down below. There'll be a different video for Aries, a separate video for Leo, and a separate video for Sagittarius over there on Vimeo. So we're going to talk about the situation, how quickly you can expect it to clear up, how to get there, what can cause the cleanup to go faster, what different perspective, how you are seeing the situation yourself, how perhaps your higher self would be seeing the situation. So trying to get a different perspective on whatever is stuck. That's not a guarantee that you will get unstuck, but it is something you can do while you're in the stuck situation. And then what you can sort of expect from the final outcome after all is said and done and things start moving. So I hope to see you over there. If not, I'll see you back here for a general later. Bye.